years, the number of registered players has grown from just over 10,000 players back in 2005, and our most recent audit there at the end of last year, at the end of 2010, there was 21,500 players playing. So there's been a huge growth in the game. There continues to be huge growth, and a lot of that growth is at underage level as well, which is a good sign, and that the numbers are sustainable. And I think, while we're here talking about under 17 success, I think there's a huge amount of work been done at developing the game at grassroots level, and leagues like the Cork League are doing a fantastic job in providing opportunities for players to play, and giving girls the same opportunities that boys get. And I suppose I'd like to appreciate the work that they put into developing the game, and also obviously we're here today to present you with a plaque for your support of the game as well, but media like yourselves locally highlighting the work that's going on at grassroots level contributes to the growth in the game as well. So a very positive day for I suppose girls football in general.
Yeah, and of course LifeFM also every Thursday night, for those of you listening in, has the Cork Schoolboys League 1 hour dedicated coverage with John Patrick every Thursday night, and that really is a superb programme that goes out between 7 minutes past 6 and 7 o'clock, covering all the action at schoolboys level, so giving them plenty of opportunity as well. Chris, overall a healthy state so at present in Cork for ladies soccer. Anything big coming up in 2011?
Well, I suppose the biggest thing in the women's soccer in 2011 is the actual World Cup, which, as Paul was saying, we came quite close to qualifying for, but we're not going to be at it. But I think for young players like Denise too, it's on in Germany, and it will be broadcast definitely on Eurosport, and I think England have qualified, so it'll be on BBC, if not Sky as well. But the thing about that is, if anyone tunes in, you'll see stadiums. I mean, we're talking Bundesliga stadiums, the Allianz Arena and these places, and they will be full to the rafters with supporters cheering on female players, with female referees and female officials, and the majority of them with female coaches as well. So I mean, it's the showpiece every 4 years, a showpiece event. It's in Germany, which you're no matter what goes on there, it's going to be a good show that they'll put on, and the fact that they're the favourites as well, that is going to be huge. And like for likes of Denise and the other girls, and any player really, it can be used to kind of inspire them along. Ourselves, we have obviously our leagues going on. The Schoolgirls League is flying at the moment with games going on around the country or around the county and the city, but the weather hasn't been helping us at the moment. And then we have the Senior League, which, as I was saying, we're looking like getting 3 new teams into that, so that will put that up to 24 teams. Emma's team Lakewood will be defending their title again, and Denise's team Wilton will probably be doing their absolute best to take it off them. So they're nice and friendly here in the studio, but I don't know how long that will last.
And of course, Chris, we saw a number of the Asian teams doing really well in the under-17s. Traditionally, as you mentioned, Germany, the United States, England, Norway, Sweden, these are some of the powerhouses. Who would you be tipping to win the Women's World Cup? A long-range forecast, seeing as at the start of the year we're in the prediction business, and we can see how foolish you look later on.
I'd have to say still Germany will probably win it. If not, then maybe Brazil. I think Marta won the World Player of the Year for the 3rd time in a row last week when Messi was given the Male Player of the Year
Ballon
award.
d'Or,
Yeah, so you'd look, I mean, Germany, Birgit Prinz would have always been their standout player. She's pushing on a little bit now, but she's still an absolutely fantastic player. But right across their team, they have just, they have quality. And I think at the last World Cup they lost their keeper just beforehand, and their sub keeper came in and was one of the players of the tournament.
And Denise, seeing as you're the expert in this area, I've sought Chris's opinion. Who would you see coming out on top in that World Cup? And I've already asked you about your favourite players on the males front. What female player would you see as being the most exciting player in the game?
I think Brazil will come out of it, and I think Emma Martin will come out of it.
Yeah, I think Emma just handed her a €50 note before she said that, and she's just given her another 50. So, Emma, who do you see as the likely winners of that World Cup this year?
Yeah, I'd have to go with Chris's prediction as well. Germany are definitely the team to be beaten, but like Martha is one of the best players in the world at that stage at the moment.
And Paul, we'll go around to you for a final.
I'll be different, and I'll say that the US will win the World Cup. I think they're keen. They're number one team in the world, and I think they'll be keen to reclaim the trophy that they've won a couple of times in the past. So I'll put my money on the upset.
Yeah, and ironically, the US would have been the team I would have thought would be the likely winners as well. Soccer in the US, particularly among girls, is huge as well, isn't it, Paul? There's been a huge growth over there at underage level for boys and girls. Football really has.
Yeah, I mean, there's in a previous life I lived over there for 11 years and worked in soccer over there. So I would have coached girls and women over there, and there's no difference in people's minds in relation to the game. They have a federal statute over their Title IX, which basically means that if you're an institution or an organisation that gets federal money from the government, whatever amount you spend on boys or men's soccer, you have to spend the same amount on women's sport. So because there's that level of commitment and support, it means that there's huge opportunities for females in the game, and the proof of that is in the results that they've had. I mean, they had the World Cup final in '99, the famous game where Brandy Chastain ripped her shirt off after the penalty shootout against China. There was 90,000 people at that World Cup final. So that's the level of support that the game garners over there.
Fantastic stuff. Well, guys, I'd like to thank you all for coming in today, and particularly to Paul for presenting LifeFM with that award, to the girls for their fantastic work over the 12 months. We'd like to wish Emma all the best this season with the Irish team, and hopefully we might see you, maybe that our team might be forced to show that online again this year, that we might see another Irish team in a final. We just have another text in just on this. Yeah, she said that it wasn't 50, but that she likes Paul's answer. About that was referring to the €50 note. Denise, what are your hopes for this coming season, as you say?
Just to build on what I done in 2010 and just go on to the under-19s team and hopefully do better if we can, and just keep going.
It's been a fantastic season. Congratulations on all your awards, eclipsing the likes of Sean O'Halpine and all the top males in a recent award ceremony up in the Cork North side, and continued success in the coming year. Chris, you can wrap it up for us.
Just Denise is actually up for another award at the end of the month, the Evening Echo Ladies Sports Star of the Year award, one of 12 nominees for that. So she's the youngest ever award winner, and to be honest, it's an achievement just to do that in itself. But she's one of the favourites, I would think, in the top three to win the award outright. But just for all the girls, obviously I was there in Switzerland with them, and I got to know a few of them over there, but they're a fantastic bunch of players, and hopefully the FAI can keep them together as long as they can without putting any pressure on them. They're kind of the future of the game in this country, and it'll be a few years down the line before they're playing senior, but no doubt when they are, they'll have as much an impact. And just for young kids, even probably kids who are older than Denise, and adults, just the way they go about what they're doing. Like, I remember speaking to them after they lost the European final in Switzerland, and of course they were down, but it was all about we're going to work as hard as we possibly can for the World Cup now. And they were thinking ahead the whole time, and thinking how much extra work do we need to do to make an impact. And they weren't just talking about it, they went and they did it, and they were very unlucky. And I think for anyone involved in women's soccer in Cork, Denise's goal in the World Cup was probably the highlight of the year, and she worked really hard in all her games, but that one probably epitomised it, chased a lost cause, and scored what is, I think, a historic goal for Cork soccer, because we never had a player score at that level before.
Well, our thanks to Paul Cleary, our thanks to Emma Martin, to Denise O'Sullivan, and also to Chris O'Mahony for their contributions this afternoon. And let's hope that they can eclipse even what happened back in 2010, which was a memorable year for all concerned. You're with Cork's 93.1 LifeFM. A reminder, at 6:07 there'll be more sport here on the station tonight with the Sporting Life. Ross Horgan will be in the hot seat tonight, reflecting on yesterday's dismal performance by Munster, thumped by Toulon, the end of an era in that, of course, and also reflecting on a day of draws in the Premiership. 4 draws yesterday afternoon in the 3 big derby games: the Merseyside derby, the Birmingham derby, the derby in the North East, of course, and that game at White Hart Lane where Pat Healy was looking on at Tottenham Hotspur, unable to beat a 10-man Manchester United. So we'll be reflecting on all of that, and also looking back at the all-Chinese final in the Masters at Wembley. Ding Junhui edging out Marco Fu in that. And it was also, of course, the start of the Australian Open tennis. Federer and Nadal, the two greatest sportsmen perhaps in recent times, shaping up for another battle over at Melbourne Park. That's all coming at 7 minutes past 6. As I say, the time now here on Cork's 93.1 Life FM is 5:49.
I have unanswered prayer.